Imagine walking into a room where everyone instantly likes you. Conversations flow effortlessly and people can't stop smiling around you. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down 5 lessons from the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, in which is going to help you improve your social life and just honestly make it a whole lot easier to develop those meaningful and fulfilling connections. Let's get started. Lesson number 1, the power of a smile. I'm looking at you now. I hate to say it, but even I don't really want to be your friend. Just because of the fact that you rarely smile. You constantly walk around every single day like a zombie with nothing but a huge frown on your face. What if I was to tell you that the most bang for buck step to improve your social life and just make you honestly look like a more approachable person is to simply just turn that frown upside down, as cringe as it sounds? When you can start smiling more often, when you're walking in a shopping center, when you're at work, when you're at the gym, brother, you are gonna look 100 times more approachable than your current self. You will almost shock yourself and realize that now people are gonna start approaching you. This almost sounds unbelievable because when I would read this chapter in this book, which I mentioned at the start of the video, I would cope. I would say, I'm not gonna smile. That's cringe. Surely it can't play that much of a difference. At the end of the day, I just need to go talk to people or else I'm going to have no friends. I'm going to be alone. What did you think I did? I started fake smiling. And that improved my social life by 10x. Sounds like bullshit, but I swear to God, you've been going throughout your whole life not even being aware of the fact that you never smile. Now you're aware. So now just try it. Next time you go to the gym, just smile more. Don't just look at your phone with your head down. Don't just ignore eye contact. I want you to eye gaze, which is a lesson I spoke about in another video, and smile. Start looking more approachable. Start looking more confident. This is the one little self-improvement hack which is going to skyrocket your current progress. Because what is the most important part of self-improvement? It's developing fulfilling relationships. Right now, if you're watching these types of videos, I can almost guarantee that relationships is probably one area of your life which is kind of lacking. I want to help you. And this is why I put this lesson first, because I think it's the easiest. I think it's the most bang for buck. I think it's something you can take action on literally instantly. You can pause this video now and go to some sort of social environment and just walk around and smile. You know how I said people are going to approach you? You're probably going to be this much more likely to approach people yourself, just because when you smile, your brain is starting to get these feel-good emotions like good dopamine. You're starting to feel happy. You're starting to feel just blissful. A quote in this book states that actions speak louder than words, which is true. And a smile says, I like you, you make me happy. Start smiling more. And I want you to come back to this video a week from now or even tomorrow and leave a comment with any results you got just from turning that frown upside down. Lesson number 2, listen more than you speak. I hate to say it, bro, but the reason why you repel so many people away from you is because you think you need to speak more than you should listen. What if I was to tell you that if you can start being more of an active listener and start actually saying a little bit less in how much you're currently speaking, people are going to want to be around you way more. Why? Because of the fact that everyone wants to feel heard. And when you can shut up and actively listen, the person that's talking respects you this much more because they're feeling appreciated, they're feeling heard, they're feeling respected, valued, etc. Obviously say something when you feel like you have something important to say. I'm not saying just live your social life on mute. But what I'm saying right now is, I think a mistake a lot of young guys make is the thought that they have to constantly speak to be entertaining, to be charismatic, to be important, especially on dates, is that they talk more than the girl. They make the girl feel unheard. They make the girl feel unappreciated. But the guy thinks, oh, look at me. I'm so important. I do this. I work this job. I do this. I do this. I do this. You don't shut up. And I'm so frustrated. I'm so angry speaking about this because this is what younger Adrian used to do. He would be in friendship circles. He would go on dates and he just wouldn't shut up because that was a sign of my own insecurity. Deep down, I felt like I wasn't valued. I didn't have this self-love. I felt like I needed this external validation and I needed other people to validate what I was saying to make me feel even better. But in reality, it just made people look at me and like, oh my God, he's so insecure. He does not listen to me. He just brags about himself. He has one big fucking ego. Even though deep down, I knew myself like, I don't have an ego, I just want to keep talking because it gives me more validation and it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing, but I'm just not really. I'm a bit autistic. I haven't read any books about social skills. I'm a bit of a social autist. That used to be me until I learned how important it is to be an active listener. When you can shut up for just a moment and actually take in the words the opposite person is speaking to you, not only does it give you more time to think, but it improves the ability of you giving a better answer. In my videos, I pause for a good 5 to 10 seconds sometimes. Just because I've simply ran out of things to say. It makes me seem more charismatic. It makes me seem more approachable. It makes me seem more confident. Just because I'm riding this wave and going on my own pace. That's how you should start to treat social interactions. And it is going to make it 20 times easier to fight your way through the fog, get past initial awkwardness of first dates, and you're just going to connect so easily. Who wouldn't want that? Right now, you're doing too much. And this seems to be the case with everything. We all like to do more than what we think we have to do because it masturbates our ego and makes it feel like we're being productive, but in reality, we're being counterproductive. People love to feel heard. And the more you can listen, the more respect you're ultimately going to get. Put some duct tape over your mouth and know when to shut up. Lesson number 3, remember their name. Did you know a person's name is to that person the sweetest sound he or she can ever hear in any language? I don't even know your name, but I just call you, you. And you seem to listen pretty well. Like you watch most of my videos. But what if I was to call you by your actual name in these videos? You would probably watch these videos in full length, maybe even rewatch them, just because of the fact that you love hearing someone else say your name. It's powerful, and this book does speak a lot about it, and it's something I learned when I read the book back in 2023. If you feel like you're being ignored, if you feel like you're not getting the attention you deserve when you're trying to raise your hand or ask a question, when you're trying to just speak to someone in like the school grounds in that little circle, try saying their name. Like, oh, Adrian. Yeah. That's how they'll react. They love it. It gives them so much dopamine. And yeah, you can say this is kind of manipulative, but if right now you feel like you're constantly being ignored, you feel like you're constantly not getting respect, you feel like everyone's just ignoring you, bro, use the best moves. Optimize your social skills. Start doing these little stuff and you'll notice that respect will go up. Younger Adrian back in high school, whenever he'd try to say something in the friendship group, he would just get ignored, neglected, unheard. That's how I would feel. And yeah, you can say those friends at the time were bad people, which yeah, they kind of were. They were mainly just like degenerates and stuff who I don't really relate with that much anymore. But if I was to say their name, I reckon I would have been hurt a little bit more. Your actionable step for this lesson, start off by saying their name. And they are going to turn their head instantly. They are going to want to actively listen to you because you just switched something on inside of them. Lesson number 4, show genuine appreciation. When was the last time you showcased or you committed an act of kindness? Not for validation, not to prove anything, just a genuine act of kindness. Probably since you were a little kid. Because all of your recent acts of kindness have just been flattery. They've been for like a reason, like maybe you wanted validation. Maybe you wanted to record yourself do something for other people to look at you and think of you better. You are limiting yourself when you are selfish. When you can genuinely say a meaningful compliment that comes from in the heart and actually means something that isn't surface level or superficial, do you think the other person is going to like you less? Probably not. Probably not. You don't praise anyone. You don't praise your woman. You don't praise your friends. You don't praise your mum. You never show any genuine appreciation. And that is the reason why people almost look at you and just get disgusted. You're like that cloud with fucking thunderstorm and rain. What if people were to start looking at you, at the guy who gives value, at the guy who gives acts of kindness? Praise is the ultimate gift. It's almost like watering a plant. Guys think showing too much praise and affection can be needy. That's what I used to think. But think about it. If it's truly needy, if the other person thinks it's truly needy, then maybe they themselves are just really emotional unavailable. And they think everything's needy. So they're just like kind of incompatible with everyone because they haven't done their own self-growth. But start to think of a guy who's on the same self-improvement level as you. When you show him or give him advice, give him appreciation from all the hard progress he's made, he is going to respect you this much more just because you're a guy he can come back to for appreciation. Again, sounds manipulative, and a lot of people think this book is super dark manipulation book. But I honestly don't think it is. I honestly think if you can start to implement these lessons, your social life is going to improve and your life quality will improve, which will ultimately make you 20 times less depressed. It's all these little low testosterone nerds who cope and say, oh, these are just manipulation tactics and this is all dark shit. Is it really, bro? Because right now, you're just staying in your room lonely as fuck. You haven't even gave these lessons a try. You're emotionally unavailable. You haven't praised your mum for the last 20 years, saying you love her, but you can comment and say this is just manipulation. This is real life. And this book was written in the 80s or 70s. It's maybe even older than that. I think it's a really old book. Let me double check that fact. First published in 1936. It is 2025. Think of all the successful guys that have read this book and implemented these lessons. I can guarantee you their success and their happiness drastically improved. Start committing more acts of kindness. Doesn't need to be buying someone a really expensive gift. If anything, it doesn't have to cost any money. It can be a note. It can be a card. It can be a hug. It can be anything free. Don't think, oh, Adrian's just saying this. You got to love bomb and buy them all these gifts. It can be free. Your presence, your warmth, your charisma, your humor, your intellect, your logic, your personality. I can go on. Be emotionally available and you will start to attract more people than what you currently can. Lesson number 5, avoid arguments. There's a reason why people don't want to be around you. Even though you've followed the first 4 lessons, when a little inconvenience happens, you're almost like a really bad odor. Just because you lack emotional strength. Whenever someone else is mad, you think the smart thing to do is to jump in the argument because your body almost has this emotional addiction and you feel your anger going up. You know by expressing more anger, it probably won't fix or resolve the argument. But you throw that logic away and you just jump in because you're an emotional little sook. You get angry, you start an argument, and now people start to look at you as a negative energy individual. So why not become more emotionally strong yourself so you don't have to experience much conflict anymore? So you can avoid arguments, so people can look at you as the guy who's stoic, who remains calm under pressure, who doesn't repel people. You avoid arguments, bro. You straight up just look like sunshine and rainbows. People want to be around you because they know they're getting the most authentic, pure you. And they know you know to control your temper. I know me personally, when I hang out with guys who love to argue, who love to just think negative, who don't have big goals, who just almost like drain your energy, that shit creeps into you. Energy is real. And if right now, if the people you hang around are just negative and increase the chances of you arguing with them, first off, bro, you have to separate yourself from them. You have to go lone wolf. You have to self-improve and start doing all of the work which I've mentioned on this channel. Read that book, do this, do that, meditate, go gym, eat healthy, do all the right stuff. Because the longer you stay with these negative people, you yourself are going to stay one of them. You're going to continue to argue. You're going to continue to walk in the shopping centers with a frown and not a smile. People are going to be so repelled by you. And you know deep down, you don't even like these friends you're currently with. You know that you've slowly been self-improving and now you don't really relate with them as much as you once did. So you would literally get double the return on investment if you can, 1, do these lessons, 2, leave these negative influences, and 3, start just being more of yourself. There's almost a reason why you're inauthentic now. It's because you feel insecure with the fact that your current friends won't like you for being you. You are limiting yourself greatly. What if you were to leave these friends, start reading books about social skills, start becoming more charismatic, and in return attracting even higher quality friends who push you more, who respect you more, who love you more? All these good emotions and not this like emotional junk food. Arguments drain you. If you can take action on trying to just reduce conflict, whether it be in your household, whether it be in your class, at work, at the gym, people are going to want to be around you more. I'm going to want to be around you more just because you're not that low testosterone, grumpy, unapproachable loser. You're the happy, stoic, disciplined, young man. Get to work. I hope this video motivated or inspired you. I'm currently doing one-on-one coaching mentorship. It'll be the first link in the description. Also, make sure to click the subscribe button and also that little bell icon. It'll kind of like remind you when I do post these videos, and you can watch them and educate yourself as soon as humanly possible.